Microsoft India Development Center. It came out at our college campus, NIT Kurukshetra, on 11 September 2012. The branches eligible were computers and IT, and there were total 120 applications for this company. And the first round was aptitude plus technical round, and there were 15 questions in first round. 7 of the questions were from permutation and combination and probability, and rest of 8 questions were from C, C++ and data structure. Actually, there were there were a lot of questions in based on array and pointers. So the objective, these were objective questions, and the questions pattern, the questions were very easy, but you need to concentrate on the statement of the question. And last 3 questions were para based questions. There was given a paragraph of 15 or 20 lines, and the next 3 questions are based on this paragraph. Actually, these three questions were dependent on array and pointers. So if you are good at array and pointers, then you can solve this question in no time. And this was an elimination round. And after 120 students, has sit for this round, and they cleared around 40 or 41 students for the next round. And the next round was an online coding round. In this round, they have given us 3 questions. All these 3 questions we have to code properly in C, C++, Java, or whatever language we should like to code. And then there were questions from string, there were questions from tree, there were questions from array. One of the questions were to find the intersection of 2 given binary search trees, and the second question was from string. The question was, we have to convert a base 2 integer into base 4 integer. Like, we have given a binary number and we have to convert it into a base 4 number. Binary is base 2 number and we have to convert it in base 4 number. And the third question was from array. So the third question was a bit easy. We have to just find the intersection of the 2 given arrays, and time complexity was a problem in this case. It was a deciding factor. So all these 3 questions were easy, but the editor they have provided was not as comfortable as we use like Dev C++ or other editors. So we have to be comfortable with the editor. We have to divide our time in all these 3 questions, and then plan accordingly, because there were a lot of students who were not able to complete all of the 3 questions. So, and also there were students who have completed the 3 questions before 1 hour. So it was all about typing speed and how much thorough you are in coding, and how much good how much good your presence of mind is. And out of those 40 students, the next round, around 26 students were selected for the next round, and the result came after 1 month. 1 month and 4 days. The interview was on 15th October 2012 in IIT Ropar. They have called us IIT Ropar. And out of the 26 students, 25 students were able to attend the interview. One of them was not able to attend the interview. At the interview, it was most thrilling and most amazing interview I have ever faced in my life. It was good, and they were very clear about their rejections. They have not approved the candidates who have any kind of doubt in their mind about coding. If you are not good at coding, if you are stumbling in coding, then you are nowhere in Microsoft India Development Center. Let me tell my interview experience. My first round was with the general manager of Windows 8, and as soon as I entered the room, there was a question: explain your interview, Mr. Tabrid Alam, because he was already having my resume in his hand. Explain your project. So it went around half an hour or 40 minutes about my project and all. And after that, there were some known question that I was knowing that these questions were going to come from my project. So they were not, in fact the interviewer, he was not interested in how much good project I have done in my past, but he was interested that the projects I have done in my past, how much thoroughly I have done those projects, and how much deep I have studied my projects, and how much good I am explaining these projects to any other person I will meet in my life. So the questions were good, and I was knowing my project well, so I have explained these questions very well. And after that, there was a question that was a bit tricky question. It was like you have given a string, and it consists some digits. So and you have to convert it in its equivalent binary number. Actually, it was an extension of the problem ascii to integer function that we have in our C library. Constraint was that what will be the size of the output string that we will take, and we have to store these binary numbers in a given output string. So he was like, write all the test cases for the code, and your code will be neat and clean. It should work for most of the test cases. And it was not like you write a code and I will interrupt you again and again that you have missed this test case, you have missed this test case. It was not like this. It was like write the test case at your own. Your code should run for all the test cases that are known, and then I will tell you what the test cases you have missed. So it took me around 40 minutes to write this simple code, and after I have covered all the test cases, and I am going to see you what I have written. And then he was like, you have missed this test case. He was like, what if there is a mixture of integers and alphabets in given string? What if there is a negative sign in the given string? So when will you if you will convert this negative sign number into equivalent integer, then it will be a negative integer. Then how will you convert it into a binary number? So they were constrained like this. So the first and last fund of Microsoft IDC was to cover all the test cases in your code before your interviewer interrupts you that you have missed this and this. So it went well. It was very good. I was trapped in just one question, that how will you convert, how will you approach this question if there is negative sign in given input string, and rest of the test cases were working fine. Actually, there is also a question that how long should be the how much character should be output string, so how much character should output string possess. What is the length, what length should be the output string. So it was my answer was that it should be a length, it should be 32-bit long. So in case of you have a negative number, it should be in this case it should utilize 31 bits. So there were tricks and like this, that you have to be very thorough about your concepts also. And the second question, second interview, I was cleared for the first interview, and then I went for the second interview, and the person was like, talking is such a waste of time. As soon as I greeted him, good evening sir, and he greeted me with a coding question. Okay Tabriz, he was like, okay Tabriz, there is a there is a laptop you have opened, and you are at console. You are entering some alphabets, some characters. In fact, you don't know what you are entering. You are just typing it. And as soon as you hit the enter, all these characters, all these alphabets you have entered, all these digits you have entered, it should be printed on the same console in reverse order. So, at the first sight, the people who do programming, who are good at coding, this question seems to be very easy. Because we don't go in the deep, we don't think about the constraints involved in this question. So I was like, sir, it's an easy question, I can do it. So he was like, okay, I know you can do it, but there are some constraints involved in this question. Like, we don't know the length of the input we are entering. It can be infinite characters, digits and all. So now tell me that what the data structure you will be using. Because we can't use stack, because the memory size is not known to us. We can't use linked list. In fact, we can't use all this data structure, all this known data structure, because memory size is not known to us. So he was like, now think of it. About 5 or 7 minutes, something was going in my head about recursion. And then I presented him a solution of recursion, recursive solution. and believe me, he was not expecting this solution. So he was like, after checking the code, I took 7 minutes to write the code and he took 5 minutes to check the code. So after checking the code thoroughly, he was like, the ways it's working fine. I am not expecting these kind of solutions, and so I will force you to write a iterative solution, not recursive solution. And then it took me around 30 minutes to write another iterative solution. Actually, the problem with the recursive solution was like when the stack works behind recursive solution works with the stacks at back end. So he was like, if you are entering a character and it takes 1 bit and 4 bits for 1 bit for character and 4 bit for pointer. So it's a waste of time, waste of memory. Like if you enter 1 bit, so 1 bit will be associated. If you enter 1 character, 1 bit will be associated with the character, and another 4 bit that will go in vain will be associated with pointer that we have nothing to do with. So this was the trick. That's why he rejected my answer of recursive solution. And in iterative solution, I suggested him that we will take a stack of character and we will connect it through links. Like we have take a stack of character, and it will be like one character for a data. I mean one bit for data, and another 4 bytes for a pointer. So he was like, that's why I have rejected your recursive solution. It is the same way that recursion works at background. So after thinking a lot, I mean he have given me some hints also, but he was not that much helpful about giving hints. So he given me some hints, a bit of hints that what the data structure you use, and then he told me to stack to stack, and then I suggested him a solution that was about buffering. It was about that take a stack of 100 characters, so it will take 100 bytes, and then 4 bytes will be associated with it for pointers. So once there is less than 100 bytes, so there you will have to assign just one stack, just one memory allocation for each stack. And if the input goes beyond 100 bytes, then you just maintain a counter. You assign another stack, and so the memory wastage was less. 100 bytes for data and just 4 bytes for pointer. So this solution was good and this solution was working, and he was satisfied with my solution. And at the end, he was about write all the test cases that should cause this program to stop at the execution time. I have written 4 or 5 test cases, and one of my test cases he was really appreciating that what if we have negative numbers. So it was what I have experienced in my first interview, and that's what I have put in my second interview. So in my first interview, there were a lot of questions from test cases also. So I put my first interview experience as second interview, and he was impressed with it. Cause I don't know why, but it may have been fact like I was with Windows 8 General Manager in the first interview. So the experience of Windows 8 General Manager or doing the trick in second interview about the test cases question. And then about the second interview, I was not that much confident that I will go for third interview, because there were some, the time of the second interview was gone beyond 130 hours. So I was thinking I would have been slow. That's why I have taken 1 hour and 30 minutes. Okay, not at a problem. The interview was said, and after 12 or 20 minutes, I was told that you are going for third interview, and I was not knowing that what the third interview will be. It may have been from operating system. It may have been from networking. Cause till now I have not been asked any question about data structure or operating system or any not data structure, operating system and networking. So I was expecting that this round is going to be for operating system and networking. I was good at it, operating system and networking. I have studied a lot about all these things, because there was a 1 month gap between written round and interview round. But when I entered in the room, it was a surprise round, and I was thinking that I am going to be a coder at Microsoft India Development Center if I clear this round. but it was about testing. It was a surprise round. It was about testing. I have heard a lot from all this side, Geeks for Geeks, Career Cups. In fact, placement grid about the interviews of the Microsoft India Development Center. But it was something that I never heard of. It was a testing round, and I was about to. I was just not that much confident in testing. But when you are told that it's your last round, and if you clear this round, you are going to be a part of Microsoft India Development Center. So I was about to, okay, let's give my 100% to it. And then the first question was, write down the test cases of fopen. It's a simple question, function that opens the file in a C library function. So he was like, write the test cases for fopen. I had hardly written 8 or 10 simple test cases that every student can write, and then the interviewer was like, you are written 8 test cases, and I can write 80 test cases without even looking at you. I mean, on a trot I can write 80 test cases. So Mr. Tabrez Alam just extend these test cases up to 20 test cases, and after giving me all of the knowledge I was having about data structure and C, C++, anything that I have studied of computer science, I was able to write somewhat 19 or 20 test cases. He was impressed because not any of the students who have gone to him have written in 19 or 20 test cases. They were limited for 8 or 10 test cases. And then second question was also from test cases, write down the test cases for least common ancestor in binary search tree. The third question was, write down the test cases of finding the code that finds the maximum sum in a given array. So and the fourth question was also from write down the test cases for ASCII to integer, and he was not knowing that I was asked the same question in the first interview. So in fact that was impressive for him also. And the fifth question was, what you have been asked in the second interview, write down the test cases, and I have some feedback that you have fluctuated in test cases in your second interview, so now write down it thoroughly. And there were some other questions, some other well-known functions that we have studied but we have not tried to write down the test cases for those functions. So he was like, write down the test cases for all these functions. It was about 8 or 10 functions he have given me, and after 2 or 3 test cases I was good at writing test cases. So for every question I have written 10 or 12 test cases, and then extended it to 15 with his help. He was very helpful. So he was giving me clues, he was giving me feedbacks about my previous question. So in the end, after 8 questions of the test cases, he said, okay, Mr. Tabrez Alam, I am done with you. So what you want to ask? And I was exhausted a bit. Three interviews, all went more than 1.5 hours. So I said, okay sir, thank you, and I don't want to ask anything. And that's it that I got in Microsoft India Development Center interview. And after 1.5 hours the result came, and I was one of the lucky recruits of Microsoft India Development Center this year. So now coming to the part that I would like to suggest about the students who are preparing for Microsoft India Development Center. Actually, you have to be good at coding, that everyone knows. In fact, study the question given at Geeks for Geeks and Career Cups in the Microsoft India Development Center column. Actually, these questions are very much helpful, and the book I have adopted for preparing all these interviews was Data Structure and Algorithm Made Easy by Narasimha Karumanchi. It's an amazing book I have ever seen in my engineering career. Actually, it builds your thinking. I was nowhere in the coding in my pre-final year. If I am asked to rate about my coding, I would rate that I was 2 or 3 out of 10 in pre-final year. And after reading this book and after going at Geeks for Geeks, after studying the question at Career Cup, I would rate my coding over 9. Means 8.5 and 9 or 9.1, whatever. I mean, it just depends on the day whether I am good at that day or not. But believe me, all these books are really good for these kind of interviews, whether it be Microsoft, whether it be Amazon, whether it be any big shot in computer industry. These books is very good book. And for operating system and networking, you just go through the books that that is in your syllabus. Because the questions from operating system and networking are straightforward from these books. But data structure and algorithm made easy from Narasimha Karumanchi, it will do the job for you.